Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play LSD. I'm your host TPC Gamer, and in our last episode, I signed off with the wrong line. I said join me next time, instead of join us next time, and as soon as I did that, the faceless woman in the corner of my room took a step closer. So I don't think I'm ever going to make that mistake again. She seems pretty angry with me. Right, so where are we? Oh, the temple. Now, is it me or was that a lightning fast load time? Like, not just for this game. That didn't waste any time plonking me in the floor, admittedly. But even so. I mean, I've not been here for a while, but I know that always happens. And I wonder why the game pulls me up to the right Z plane. Like, usually when you go beneath the floor, the game drops you out of the game and you wake up. Oh, and that looks pretty spooky, like the old art covered in blood. I don't know why I picked that word up as of late, but I'm running with it. Spooky is a good word. I'm also running with into your stack of chairs. Yep, that sentence just happened. I am super good with English language, by the way. I've been talking for most of my life, and I've only been getting better as I go along. And I'm not going to stay in that for-a-while loop, I'm getting out of here. Oh, we're heading to the Violence District. Heck yeah! Time for a magical journey in time and space and cosmic horror. Although that said, this is less cosmic horror and more like horror. Your traditional dumb teenagers on a camping trip kind of horror. Stupid British man about to explore the dark back alleys late at night horror. Or the horror of the British man who made a cup of tea but left it for just that little bit too long, and then when he came to drink it, the tea was lukewarm. Yeah, see, you guys might think that I'm just being silly, but no word of a lie, every British person who just heard that story, or so much as thought about it, recoiled in abject terror. Now, admittedly, my American friends less so, because they drink their tea ice cold with lemons in it, like heathens. Okay, what are you even doing? Like, you are meant to be sending me flying through the air or something, not just kind of sitting there. Game? Xbox, explain this mess! Alright, Cortana, where you at? No, I'm kidding, I barely even use Cortana. But when I do, I address her with pleases and thank yous. Like, how do you figure that? Oh, I can't be rude to the thing that isn't real. It might get upset with me. I think it's because she answers back. Like, Google just spits out results, but Cortana specifically says, oh yeah, here's the answer to the question that you asked Professor Mofrosmack. Don't ask why I told Cortana to call me Professor Mofrosmack. Anyway, I'm going to link with this here tree and exit in a red haze, indicative of the anger I feel at not getting to see the cool flying video. Again. Ooh, and it's this setup. Now, I did a bit of thinking about this setup. Maybe it's indicative of what you're doing with sexy wallpaper or pin-up posters. You know, you want to have somebody cute on your walls, have something cute on every wall, and a crazy psychedelic luchador, apparently. You see, I was gonna say that maybe it's LSD being ironic, and maybe it's just being weird, and here we are answering the question for me. I did not know the giant person in the room did that. Okay, let's keep going. Let's try and make things a little bit happier. Oh, like the other day. My own life, the other day, I dreamt of something that made me laugh so hard that I woke myself up. That was really, really weird. I mean, it wasn't even a funny joke. It was just a really weird situation that made me laugh. But I like that, though. I mean, I have a pretty samey existence. You know, day to day is the same, week to week is the same, reel to reel is a kind of tape recorder that probably be well beyond the age group watching this video. But my brain has enough imagination that my dreams are surreal and multicolored, you know? Oh, and heck yeah! Look at that result! I knew throwing myself down the pit was the right thing to do. And come to think about it, I have 3 results on that same row. And they're pretty low down on the downer axis, but they're not as bad as they can be. Could be worse, all things considered. Makes me wonder what you have to do to actually get to the very bottom row. Like unspeakable things, the likes of which will make you question your own humanity. Or, you know, understand the mechanics of the dream chart. And I'm not entirely sure which would be the easiest option. Oh, and after such a cataclysmic downer, we were pretty much guaranteed to come back to the Violence District, so that's fine. Although I must remember not to run. Or should we go and break this rule many times while I'm busy talking to you guys? Like right now, in fact. I don't know, I get a bad feeling about this place in general, but this thunderous music is just making it worse. Or maybe it's the bit where I'm getting over a cold and I have a pounding headache. Anyways, I'm going to try something. I'm not going to do anything in the dream tonight. Like, I'm going to head for the manhole cover and throw myself down to see if I get the same downer ending. Or worse. I mean, I've done a couple of dreams in the past that were like that. You know, wake up in the temple area, jump down the pit, get the same result, go back to the temple area the next night, repeat it ad infinitum. And apparently, the game has decided it's going to flip me off and not let me have my way, because somehow that was a psychotic upper. Although at least it landed between those 2 horn-looking things. I actually would have preferred it if I had gone one higher into the little red square above the alien's horns. But I don't know if I ever covered those red squares before, so I just want to see if they do anything. Just going to throw a major potential spoiler warning right here. No, they don't do anything. I mean, I don't know for sure, but no. Ooh, let's go say hello to the door in the sky. We can go exit the simulation and see something new. Probably not, though. Like, we've been there before. We know what's through the door. It's just that weird empty room full of nothing. How can you be full of nothing? There's a point in Mother 3 where you're in a nightmare scenario and there's a bit of dialogue that says, "There is nothing in the mailbox. Hundreds of nothing kept pouring out," which is beautifully weird. And I think this is talking about money. Like, it's mentioning N, and that is the word used for Japanese money. Kore wa nanen desu ka? How much does this cost? Although having said that, it was right on the edge of the texture tile, so it's possible that it was part of another word, like, I don't know, enpitsu, pencil. And then you can combine the two, and then go, "Enpitsu wa nanen desu ka? How much does this pencil cost?" And I'm gonna do super well in Japan, you guys don't even know. Oh, I'm here right now. Although having said that, right, I know a few basic touristy phrases, but the most important things to learn in any foreign language: thank you, sorry, and please. Also the phrase "hello monkey," because there is something glorious about saying that to a kid who knows that you are different, but maybe doesn't know how, and then watching them go, "Wow, they speak the words like me!" I mean, it's one of those simple pleasures in life that tugs on the little garrote wires I have instead of heartstrings. You should try it sometime. And I don't really see anything else to do out here, so I think we're going to go back to the door in the sky. Maybe the girl with the hoop will be there again. And maybe we'll get back to Kyoto and we'll, you know, basically just keep the game in an endless loop and get a super duper static sequence at the end. You know how I'm always in the floor when I go to the temple? I wonder why I keep spawning way off in the middle of the void when I come to this map. Because to me it says they set up the spawn points first and then shuffled the maps around. Like either shuffling geometry around, or moving the maps around in such a way that their internal ID got switched up. I mean, either way, that's a pretty bad form of programming, and a professional game developer should probably have known better. Oh yeah, it's Kyoto! Excellent, well done, game. Now, if only you were this consistent when I want you to be, maybe I wouldn't keep taking the particular line of conversation where I try to figure you out. I mean, I keep wondering what the point of this game is. Why is all of this presented as it is? But I mean, I don't think that knowing the answer would particularly improve his Let's Play any. Because, I mean, it'd give me a couple more things to talk about, maybe, but it would probably only be for one video, because once I explained everything, I'm right back to wandering around Kyoto, dazed and confused, and super upset that Floaty Face Man isn't there. Oh! I was asked a question by a long-time watcher and loyal fan, Leonard Frost. He wonders what the kanji is that flies out of the mouth of the giant head. Okay, yeah, I thought that was the Grey Man. Not that far in the distance, is it? Let's... Whatever. The giant head says one of 4 words, depending on what the texture pack is. In the regular texture pack, like this one, he says east. Otherwise, he says perplexity, Kyoto, or star, depending on whether you're in the downer, sexual, or kanji texture sets, respectively. And just imagine that I threw up the kanji for those on the video. I mean, I actually do have a font capable of displaying a baffling array of kanji characters, but I do not have the patience to flip through it and find assorted abstract concepts. You know, Okay. I mentioned before, in Japan, kids who catch their parents having sex are told that they were, like, playing at sumo wrestlers. I think it's pretty telling that you have no say on whether or not you do or do not join in the sumo wrestling match. In the map that is known as the womb internally. Or maybe I'm just reading too much into this. Do you want to provide me with a distraction, Mr. Skyscraper? Like, maybe stretching upwards? I guess you won't. Well, now I have to think about something to talk about that's maybe more a little bit lighthearted than the horrifying implications. You've got a cloud in front of you. It looked like you were bruised originally, but now I can obviously see that that is a cloud. I mean, that's the problem of having a white sky like this. The main feature of your cloud, the most prevalent and distinguishing feature of a cloud, is that it's white. So, setting it on a white skyline, I'm supposed to see them. And I think I'm just going to keep pacing until you land. So, hurry it up, and then we'll move along to the machine room. And going back to my alien abduction hypothesis, the machine room could be like the machine room of the UFO in which our character is being held. Like, it has a planetary model, which could be used for navigation, and it also has the, you know, the big smashing pistons and whatnot to get the machinery in the ship up and running. I just ignore the fact that, in my model, the UFO is running on an internal combustion engine, because that's probably not suited for interplanetary travel. You have missed your mark, my good fellow. You are meant to land beside Tower Bridge in Hyde Park, London, as is the beginning of the video game Rick Dangerous 2, which was released on, among other things, the Amstrad CPC, so now that my username is relevant, I don't need to do another CPC thing for, like, 2 years. I was ranting to fill time, but seriously, you just keep on going, don't you? Are you gonna fly outside the level boundaries? I reckon so. Follow-up question, what do you think is going to happen? I think it's going to hit the map boundaries and vanish like the Buddhas in Kyoto. In fact, I'm pretty sure that is what's going to happen. And this music is kind of grating me now, so let's shuffle along to the very next map. Welcome back to the cottage, it seems. I wonder what this cottage is to this game's writer. Probably the place where she lived. Like, I think she writes about the Meigetsu-so apartment block being her home, so it makes sense. Or maybe it's just an imaginary construct. Whenever I dream of home, it's not necessarily, like, my home. I just know that I am home, if that makes sense. Probably not, because it's a dream, and dreams don't make sense. I mean, again, going back to the start of that video, a stupid non-joke made me laugh so hard that I woke myself up. How do you figure that bit out? And that's a long period of silence you have there, game. Anything you want to share with the rest of the class? Okay, so we're back here. Okay, so we're waking up and ending the video. Thanks, game. Oh, you didn't even get me anywhere new. Ah. Anyways, join us next time for a bit more of this. And until next time, goodbye.